My entitled daughter screamed at me and called me an idiot in front of her friends, so I gave her a reality check. My daughter is very entitled, very spoiled and very bratty. She is my daughter and I love her very much, but on many days her sense of entitlement makes me think my wife and I did something seriously wrong when raising her. And I suppose we did. We spoiled her a lot when she was growing up, and never disciplined her when she did anything. When she was 4 or 5, her birthdays were very extravagant and the other kids catered to her every need. If any kid did something she did not like, our daughter would verbally bully the kid, and my wife and I would back her up. Whenever she was mean to us, we excused it every single time. She would yell at us if her gifts weren't exactly how she wanted them, or if my wife made dinner not exactly how she wanted it. We always took the abuse off her, hoping one day she would come around and realize how much we put up with to make her childhood as perfect as possible. We always put her behavior down to just her being a kid, and we thought she would grow out of her spoiled ways. She is now 14 and we realize that she has not grown out of it. She goes to a private school and has all the latest technology, but this is not enough for her. She demanded that for her birthday I get her a car despite her not knowing how to drive, and when I refused she threw a temper tantrum which ended with her screaming so loud the police were called. It was on her birthday that I realized just how large her sense of entitlement was. After the whole police fiasco happened in the morning, she calmed down and an hour later demanded to see her presents. After receiving the MacBook she asked for but not in the correct color, she rolled her eyes and told my wife and I we were useless. My wife then spent a few hours preparing a meal consisting of all of her favorite foods, including homemade sushi. My daughter ended up excusing herself halfway through because she wanted to go FaceTime her friends and show off her new MacBook. We didn't even cut the cake. Later that day my daughter asked me to carpool for her and her 3 friends over to a bowling place, and despite it being kinda late and me having work the next day, I agreed. It was my daughter's birthday after all. It was while I was driving them that my daughter went off on me. She was in the backseat talking with her friends when one of her snobby friends mentioned that her father had got her a Honda for her 14th birthday a few months ago. My daughter, "See Dad, why are you so useless? Kaylee's dad got her a Honda, you can't even get me a correct color laptop." They proceeded to laugh and I grit my teeth, only managing to reply, "That's nice Kaylee, I hope you enjoy it." My daughter then yelled back, "Don't talk to my friends, just drive," and they went back to their conversation. That's when I lost it. I stopped the car and turned around. I proceeded to go on a very loud and angry rant which lasted a few minutes. And the rant consisted of me calling them all entitled spoiled brats, telling my daughter that she is not a girl I'm proud to have raised, that the way she treats us is disgusting and despicable, and that maybe I am useless. I can't even raise a daughter who respects her parents, maybe that is useless. And since I'm so useless, they don't need me. Hence they can all get the F out of my car. All 4 of them were pale by the end of my rant. I'm ex-military, I know I can be scary when angry. They all got out, maybe a 2-hour walk from the bowling place and a 2-hour walk from our house. I went home and told my wife about it, who told me that she's not sure what I did was correct, but she doesn't blame me either. Our daughter ended up coming home 3 or so hours later, and she went straight to bed without speaking to us. That was last night, and she hasn't come out of her room all day today. Did I take things too far? Update: my wife and I were able to drag my daughter out of the room to have a conversation with us, but it was not an easy task. My daughter apparently did not want to see me after I humiliated her in front of her friends and her words. It took her staying in the room for 3 days until she was ready to come outside and have a talk with us. Her mother and I started the conversation by telling her that her entitlement has gone too far, and we understand that it is our fault we have made her this way. But there is no way I can ever excuse her shouting at me and calling me names in front of her friends, especially when I'm giving her a lift to bowling on her birthday. My daughter stayed silent and emotionless while her mother and I were talking. When it was her turn to speak she did not show much emotion either. She said that she didn't care, I had no right to humiliate her like that, and she even went on to say that she will be expecting compensation in the form of a doubled weekly allowance to make up for the emotional distress we caused her. I told her this is exactly what I was talking about. This sense of entitlement and victim card, where she expects absolutely everything to be handed to her, and if things do not go her way then everyone will know about it. My daughter was not having it, and even threatened to sue us for negligence due to me dropping her off at a random location. She then stormed upstairs and locked herself into her room once again. My wife and I then made a decision to send her to my parents' house. My parents live on a farm. We informed her of this that same night, and told her that for the rest of summer, 2.5 months, she will be at my parents' house. She will work hard on a farm, earning everything she has. She will have no easy lifestyle and scrolling social media for 6 hours a day. Long gone will be the days of her getting out of bed at 3 p.m. and she will understand what the world is really like. She cried, she screamed and begged, and she promised to act more in line. I think the threat of hard work got to her. Nonetheless, my parents picked her up and drove off with her the next day while she cried. My wife told me this was cruel as my parents were on their way, but I had to tell her that this is the only way. She has forced her hand. It's this kind of attitude that got us to this place. We have to be stricter.